This week on GamePron News, PlayStation Network gets a little bit worse before it gets better. APB Reloaded stumbles as it makes it out of the blocks. Bohemia Interactive returned to the military sim arena with Arma 3. We have some big numbers and quick updates for The Witcher 2, Gears of War 3 and Angry Birds. The ending of Mass Effect 3 will depend on your decisions in the earlier two games. There's finally some good news for Duke Nukem Forever, and EA looks to right the wrongs of Command & Conquer. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. Just when we thought the PlayStation Network dramas were in the past, Sony has suffered another devastating blow. The system started its phased rollout system earlier in the week, with every user forced to download new 3.61 firmware and to change their password before signing back in. That's all fairly straightforward, with members directed to a website and asked to enter their registered email address and date of birth. Unfortunately, the site that handled all of the password resets buckled under the initial strain, meaning countless gamers were out of luck when trying to make the required change. That all got back online and everything slowly seemed to be getting back to normal until a gamer discovered a nasty exploit in the system, which would potentially allow a hacker to change a customer's PSN password by simply using the account's stored email address and the user's date of birth. Alerted to the exploit, Sony quickly took a number of sites offline, including the password reset service, due to essential maintenance. The URL exploit has now been fixed, but all gamers are encouraged to change their passwords directly via the PS3 console. In other Sony news, a leaked internal memo suggests that the PlayStation Store will be back online by May 24th. A schedule hints at 4 content updates over the next 2 weeks to help ease the backlog. You can expect Under Siege and the demo of Motorstorm Apocalypse, among a bunch of other bits and pieces. Also suffering from unexpected drama was troubled MMO APB Reloaded. The game, best known as being the shortest-lived MMO in history, is being revamped and re-released as APB Reloaded in the coming months. It's been in closed beta mode since February, with the open beta launch eagerly anticipated for May 18th. Unfortunately, things didn't go quite as planned. Just a few days before the game was set to be open to the public, a player disconnection issue started popping up, booting gamers offline after just a few hours of play. Reloaded Productions claim that this is clearly not acceptable, and the developers have instead released a new patch for the game, which should hopefully fix the issue. If that works, all steam ahead, open beta for APB Reloaded. If not, then maybe patch 85 will do the trick. Now that original developer David Jones, one of the designers on original Grand Theft Auto, has been signed up to the project, who knows quite what the future will hold. Actually, the future holds a new installment in the Arma franchise, with Bohemia Interactive giving us a first look at Arma 3. The new game promises a unique sandbox-style military gameplay experience set to continue in the fine tradition set by its predecessors. It's been 2 years since Arma 2 hit our shelves, and the developers have been hard at work behind the scenes, perfecting some radical engine improvements and creating a storyline featuring NATO forces and a hostile Mediterranean island. Featuring an open-ended single-player campaign, co-op and competitive multiplayer, and a mission editor designed to ship with the game, this one should be something pretty awesome. Keep an eye out for it exclusively for PC in 2012. We can also expect an assortment of DLC packs for The Witcher 2 from CD Projekt. And the developers have confirmed that, starting with Troll Trouble, which was released day and date with the game, all DLC packs will be released completely free. They're not ruling out the idea of paid expansion packs, and we're not 100% sure what the difference is, but for now it means you should be able to add extra bits and pieces to Geralt's adventures, all without using your personal collection of gold. Also doing well for itself this week is Gears of War 3, which has just been labelled the fastest selling pre-ordered game for Xbox 360 in the history of the console. More than 1 million gamers have put their names down for the game, which suggests that the multiplayer beta was a runaway success. 1.29 million users took part in that one, racking up more than 11 million multiplayer matches, adding up to nearly 250 years of gameplay. Last year, Rovio promised us that Angry Birds would have been downloaded 100 million times by mid-2011. Now, Mighty Eagle Peter Vesterbacher has admitted that the company has failed in its prediction. Instead, the game has been downloaded 2 200 million times, seemingly on every device with a screen. BioWare has said that the way you play will impact on the storyline of Mass Effect 3. All of the different things that you do in-game have a direct effect on the war effort. If you pick the simple choices, you'll still be able to finish the game, but the ending will be brutal and minimal compared to what could happen if you explored various side quests and alternative plots. We've seen this before. A handful of decisions you made in the original Mass Effect did have an impact on its sequel, but executive producer Casey Hudson has explained that, come the third game, every major decision you've made over the trilogy will affect your experience. So the question now is, did you save the Rachni Queen all the way back in the first game? Finally though, there has been some good news for Duke Nukem. Last time that Gearbox's Randy Pitchford made a public announcement, it was to confirm that the game had been delayed. This time around though, he was the bearer of much nicer news.
I'm Randy Pitchford, president of Gearbox Software and executive producer of Duke Nukem Forever. And I know last time I offered a message to everyone, it wasn't exactly with the best news. We had a little bit of a delay, had to suck that down. Still feel bad about that, but I'm here to offer an update to everyone on the status of the development of Duke Nukem Forever. Let me tell you, we are in great shape. The game is in certification on all platforms. That is the final step before everyone gets to play the game. And let me tell you, the development team has so much passion and commitment. We are knocking down tasks left and right. It is happening. This game is going to ship. That date, June 10th, International, June 14th in North America, that is the real date. This one is for real. It's going to happen. Adam, why do you have a sign? What is that? You are not. Oh, that's good news. It's June 3rd. We're going to have the demo on June 3rd. That's awesome.
That's for all three platforms, Xbox 360, PS3 and PC via Steam, but only if you're in the First Access Club. Lucky for you, the club's not terribly exclusive. If you've picked up a copy of the Game of the Year edition of Borderlands, then you should have a code to get your download. By the same token, if you've pre-ordered the Duke, any version, you can get one that way too. Randy does reassure everybody that this game is going to ship. In fact, it's due out in just a few short weeks. One thing you'll have to wait a little while longer for, however, is the new Command & Conquer. EA still hasn't officially announced what the next game in the franchise will be exactly, but this week it's revealed that it wants your help. Victory Games has turned part of the game's forums into a community developer area, with the idea that ideas will have enough room to grow to something big. Given the response that Command & Conquer 4 received from consumers, we're thinking that this is EA's way of getting back on track with the next game. Responses in the forums so far have been interesting. By the looks of things, most gamers simply want Victory Games to go back to the title's roots and slow things down. There are currently a handful of suggestions as well that ask to pretend that CNC4 never actually existed. Is EA really that powerful? Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen and this is GamePron News.